Alright, so last time out, I made a long video going over each setting and giving the explanation on why you change each setting. If you don't care about the explanation, this is a super fast version of that video that just tells you what to change when you log in with fully default settings. And I will not be going over explanations to go as fast as possible. Let's go. Alright, taking it from top to bottom, starting with controls. Auto loot on, combine bags on. Scroll down, fix your mouse look speed. I think default is really fast, so I set that to minimum. Camera following style never adjusts, so it's not fighting you when you're trying to look around. Interface, my name if you want, and I'm going to turn off friendly player minions and enemy player minions. Always show nameplates, mandatory. Larger nameplates, totally up to you. And I'm also going to check enemy unit minion nameplates, because sometimes bosses and mobs spawn a totem that's really dangerous. And change nameplate motion type to stacking, that way you don't have to click through nameplates. Hide adventure guide alerts if you don't want the pop-ups, and then turn off tutorials because these will be spamming you 24/7. Status text, set that to both so you can see health and percentage. And for raid frames, power bars, class colors, no pets. Status text, set that to health lost. Arena frames, power bars, class colors, pets, and health percentage, although default arena frames kind of suck. Action bars. Minimum I think you need is 4, maybe you can get away with 3. 2 for your regular spells, 1 for longer cooldown spells and mounts, and then 2 for portals and consumables and toys and stuff like that. Show numbers for cooldowns is a mandatory button. Moving on to combat, personal resource display, check show personal cooldowns, show friendly buffs, and self-highlight, set that to circle and outline. Also check show silhouette when obscured, check target of target. You can check do not flash screen at low health if you hate how this looks, and then check mouse over cast, but for more information on this, again, look at the last video. Self-cast, everyone can leave this on auto unless you're a warlock specifically. Spell alert opacity, I'd say put it at 100. Now press and hold casting and action targeting, I don't play with them, but some people like to. In my opinion, they're just worse. Now social, censor messages, barely functions, turn that off. Also, I will turn off online, offline, and friend request pop-ups just so people's names aren't just flashing on my screen middle of combat. New whispers, set that to both, and chat timestamps, whatever your preferred time format is. Ping system, barely any of these do anything, but you can just set 2 ping keybinds. I recommend setting ping as a keybind and also warning as another keybind. Now, in accessibility, there's actually some really useful settings here. Firstly, I take camera shake, set it to none, and I turn motion sickness on. This won't actually add anything to the game, it just removes the camera shaking. And then all the other settings here we've already seen somewhere else. On mount, I turn off skywriting, speed effects, and screen effects, just so the screen is less cluttered when I'm flying around. But this is super subjective, so do whatever you want. And then in graphics, basically nothing here matters. If you have an NVIDIA card, you can turn on reflex plus boost to get a little bit better latency. Keep in mind, if you have a really low refresh rate display, probably don't want to do that. And then now, the actual settings that will affect your ability to see anything in a fight or in PvP or in dungeons is particle density. This is a comparison on what it looks like on low versus on ultra. It doesn't really matter for ranged as much, but it matters a ton for melee. Notice how low you can see the melee stack and what's going on decently well. And on ultra, it just looks like a mess of abilities. Outline mode, always set this to high. It doesn't matter how low your settings are. Make sure this is high. It doesn't affect you much, but you need this to function. Then spell density, set this to whatever you want. This controls how many other players' spells that you can see. Just don't set it to dynamic because you don't want spells to change how they're looking mid-combat. And then projected textures, mandatory setting that used to have a lot of impact back in the day, but has less impact now. However, if you have it off, you will miss abilities like this and just not see some swirlies. And if you want to change the look of your game here, super subjective, but I use 62 contrast, 48 brightness, and 1.1 gamma. This is how it looks without it. This is how it looks with it. And one more time, before and after. Up to you. I think it just looks better. And then also turn target FPS off. Again, you don't want the game to change your settings whenever your FPS drops. Target FPS off is really important. And last but definitely not least, in network, check advanced combat logging. A lot of add-ons need this for functionality, and it's just nice to turn it on. It says it will affect network lag. That's not true. Maybe in like 2006 it did. I promise you right now it has 0 effect on my network activity. That's going to be it. Again, if you want the explanations on why I chose these things and what each setting means, go watch the other video. But I just wanted to get a quick video, the super fast version, to get people up to speed as fast as possible. That's all for now. Later.